Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to do a little something different, something I've never done before for the reading today. You are going to actually be able to pick a card. And first, I just have to stop and say, I hope the lighting is okay, but when I brought the camera on, I could see just all the shadow with the wind and the sun just dancing around me. And so I didn't pull my curtain to the side to make it darker. So, because the light is just so beautiful, I wanted to share that with you. I love the birch trees out this window. They just glisten in the sun when it hits it just right. So I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. I love it when the light dances, and it's dancing so beautifully on my altar today. So today, what I want to do for this week's reading is work with the directions of north, south, east, and west. And you are going to be able to pick an animal. Well, you can pick it right now. You can pick a direction, either north, south, east, or west. That's going to be your particular animal for the week of June, or no, the week of May 31st. Well, it's almost June if that's the week of May 31st. Um, yeah, Monday is the 31st. Yeah, Memorial Day. That's right. Okay. So, I lost my train of thought there. Let me get back on track here. All right. So, yeah, I wanted to do the different directions based on the four directions, which is often associated with the medicine wheel, which is can be symbolic of holistic healing. It can also represent the four different directions can represent spiritual, emotional, physical, and mental aspects. So I'm not going to tell you what each one means. Perhaps you already know, but I just want you to tap into your intuition and pick the south direction, the east direction, the west direction, or the north direction. And that is going to be your particular animal. But like I always say when I do a reading in this way, stick around for the whole reading because oftentimes there's another message in here that applies to your card as well that you chose. So at the beginning of the video, I did share a photo. I've already picked the cards. They're right here. I've already picked the cards and I shared a photo of how I had them laid out so you could see that. So what I did first is, and this just totally came to me this morning to do this. As I was getting ready, this is when my imagination is having fun, and it's much better than worrying when that thinking mind gets in the way. And I thought, oh, that'd be so fun to do today. So the middle card, which is this card, I don't want to look at it yet myself. This is just going to be kind of the general theme, and then that will go in connection with whatever direction that you have chosen in your particular animal with the message for you. I hope that makes sense. It's making sense to me. Okay, it just seems so magical to me today to do it in this way, especially with all this beautiful light dancing around us, right? All right, so I'm going to pick the card that I had in the center as the general theme, and that is, oh wow, it is regeneration. Regeneration. Ah, this is so perfect. Okay, so I am recording this on Wednesday, the 26th, May 26th, and today is a full moon, and it is also a lunar eclipse. And what I just learned about the lunar eclipse is these energies will be around for 6 months. So regeneration is beautiful. What are we all letting go of? What is being reborn? What are we regenerating? In order for that to happen, we've been through some really stormy periods, and some of that might still be a little bit left over as we let go. Look at it's like a volcano underneath, and so sometimes it can feel so intense and hot, and we want to get past that. But this is all part of the regeneration, the rebirth of what we don't even know that's coming. So that is going to be our theme, regeneration. Just start thinking about what is it in your life you are wanting to birth anew or you are wanting to regenerate. Maybe you don't even know what it is, and that's okay. That's perfectly okay. Sometimes that's even better just to be open and to trust the unknown of what's coming. All right, so we have that card. So I'm going to go in the order of south, north, south, north, west, and east. That's how I pick the cards. So if you pick south, south is all about illumination. And it also represents the element of fire, which is interesting because we've got the volcano and the fire here. And it really speaks to creation, creativity, and the spark of creation. It also speaks to the inner child that is truly alive, or perhaps for you as an inner child that truly wants to come alive, but maybe is a little afraid to step forward. But to approach that with curiosity. And when you think about regeneration and rebirth, what is it perhaps you've been wanting to try? And maybe there's fear there, but maybe you just need to be curious. If you know, I find so often when you approach it with curiosity, it's that much more fun than approaching it from a state of fear. So, what is your animal if you pick the south? Giraffe spirit. See the big picture. So when we're looking at illumination, we're looking at the South mean creative spark, the inner child, truly, being truly alive and being curious. I sense this card and the giraffe spirit as seeing the bigger picture. And you just think about how tall. That's what I always love. Maybe it's because I'm short, but what I love about giraffes is because they are so tall and they can just oversee everything. And they get this whole different perspective than I, as a short person. I don't know if you can hear my door, but it's creaking open just a little bit with the wind to give you a bigger perspective, perhaps, right? So, when we think about illumination and there's this fire lit under us, perhaps that's lit under you about something new you're wanting to try or something new you're wanting to explore, and you're really curious about it, sometimes what can block us is actually trying to see the bigger picture, trying to have all the pieces laid out on how something should go. When in fact, the creative spark sometimes just starts slowly. It's just maybe lighting the match and watching the flame and being in that illumination and simmering in what the possibilities are. And that's where the curiosity comes in too, instead of trying to have the known of what that is going, how the outcome is going to turn out. So if that is the direction that you picked, what area in your life are perhaps, I'm really seeing the bigger picture as not looking at the big picture and feeling that as perhaps that might be an obstacle for you, but instead just enjoy being in the simmering of the illumination and simmering in this flame and the possibilities of that. All right, so if you picked, we're going to go to north now. So north is your north star, following your north star. It's our guiding light. It's also represented with the element of earth, which is very grounding. It's all about the logic and the intellect. So if you pick the north, oh, your animal this week, we had this last week, is dove spirit, though it was from a different deck last week. So be peace. Oh, okay. I love this. Okay. So when we think about guiding light and we think about earth, which is very grounding. So whatever it is, we are moving towards birthing anew. And that can be anything in your life. It could be for you, maybe, it could be a relationship. It can be career. It can be, anything creative. Maybe you're moving home, maybe you're thinking about that. It's just whatever it is for you in your life right now that you are thinking of, birthing again something new. So this kind of fits in with see the big picture too. Sometimes if we allow ourselves to go down the rabbit hole of trying to figure it all out, we lose sight of that peaceful place. And when we, to get to being be peace, this really is about making sure that you stay grounded. And, you just slowly start to take flight toward what it is that you are feeling called to, whatever that is, that North Star for you. And logic and intellect is good. And that's part of being peace. To achieve that, let's see, what else am I getting here? Really, for you, if you pick the North Star, I keep getting caught up on that, pick North. And the fact that we have Dove and Be Peace, this is really about integrating more grounding and calming practices into your life, maybe spending more time in nature, whatever it is that brings you more peace, which will help. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but so often when we do these grounding practices, our North Star comes closer to us without any effort at all. So that is your message if you picked the South, which is Dove Spirit. All right, so the West, if you picked West, West is all in, wait, is that, yeah, that's the one I'm on. West is all about enlightenment. It's also associated with the element of water, and water is all about our emotions and our feelings and processing those and being with those. And when you think about regeneration or rebirth, sometimes that means we're letting go of painful situations or past experiences and looking for the gift in that and processing all those emotions. So this is your animal if you pick the West. Wombat Spirit. Oh, this is beautiful. Be at home. Wombat Spirit, if I remember correctly, this animal is nocturnal and can see in the dark, and be at home. When we're looking at the West and enlightenment and water and emotion, it really is about being at home in your heart and being at home with all your emotions. So often when something from our past is painful or we've had a painful experience, we want to shut down our hearts. We want to block our hearts from feeling enlightenment and feeling peace. And a lot of times we block those emotions as well. And the way to regeneration, I'm going to go back to that again, our theme, the way to regeneration is to feel all those emotions. And remember that pain doesn't last forever. We've got to go through it to get to the other side to experience joy. So be at home in those feelings. Welcome those feelings as a signpost to healing and to moving forward and to birthing anew what it is you want in your life. You know what? And be okay. Be okay in the dark. Be okay in the shadow aspects. Be okay in feeling the darkness. The darkness is how, we got to go through the darkness in order to come out the other side to the light. So that is your card if you picked West. West for Wombat. W for Wombat. So the last card is the East card. I just want to be able to see my notes here. I just made a few notes. So East is all about new beginnings, which fits perfect with regeneration. New beginnings, it's also the element of air. And air is about the mind, it's about insight, it's about learning processes. I don't know about you, but I love to learn. I love to be in learning mode as much as I can. I think that's why I love to read, because I'm always learning something new. So if you pick the East card, Otter Spirit, you are never alone. Oh, I love this. So when you're thinking about a new beginning and regeneration, and maybe that means you are leaving behind something or someone or relationships or friendships. And sometimes that can feel like a lonely path to take when you're setting out on a new beginning. You're leaving behind what was comfortable and what you knew. And sometimes that you can feel very alone in that. I have definitely felt that at various times in my life. I remember, and maybe this will help to share this as an example if you picked East. I remember over 20 years ago, my late 30s actually, when I was really feeling called to start walking this spiritual path. And I remember I had to let go of some people in my life, and it's not a judgmental thing. It's just I just needed more time alone. I needed to process what I was feeling, but yet that was really hard. That was really hard to do because I didn't want those people to be upset with me, but yet I knew that was the journey I needed to take. That was a new beginning for me that and sometimes a new beginning means you do have to walk it alone. That's where this new learning comes. That's where this insight comes. And where you can be with everything that you need to be with. But to remember, you aren't alone. None of us are ever alone. Someone has either walked the path before us, and as well as there's plenty of people. Oh, you just think about 2020. So many people have had to rethink their lives. That was such a year of taking this big pause and thinking about what truly matters, and how do we want to start anew. And so, again, if you picked East, this is all about new beginnings, and to remember that even though you may feel alone, you aren't alone. And this is a time for you to connect with your faith, your creator, the divine source, however that looks for you. So that is the reading. This was a little bit longer this week, but again, I felt really called to work with the different directions, to bring in a little bit different insight. And I just don't think we could get a more perfect card. Again, when you think about the lunar eclipse, and those energies will be around for the next 6 months. So don't be in a hurry. So whatever card it was that you chose, and that is your animal, that animal is going to be your guide for the next 6 months. As whatever it is you are rebirthing, you are regenerating. They are going to walk beside you and tap into their energy whenever you're feeling like you just can't do it, and you're feeling down and out. Connect back into the energy of whatever specific animal it is that you chose for this week. All right, and for the next 6 months ahead, really, as well. So I hope you enjoyed that. And if you feel like leaving a comment, I always welcome those, and would love to have a conversation about whatever animal is you chose. So have a great week, and I will see you again next week. I don't know if the spirits will be dancing all around my Joyful Paws cottage again as visibly as they are today, but I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. All right, everyone, have a great week. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye. Take good care.